Education, 10 Facts About K-12 Education Funding, Washington, D.C., 2005. To order copies of this report, write to EDPubs, Education Publications Center, U.S. Department of Education, P.O. Box 1398, Jessup, M.D., 20,794 1398, or fax your request to 301-470-1244, or email your request to edpubs@inet.ed.gov, or call in your request toll-free, 1-877-433-7827, 1-877-4-EDPUBS. If 877 service is not yet available in your area, call 1-800-872-5327, 1-800-USA-LEARN. Those who use a telecommunications device for the deaf, TDD, or a teletypewriter, TTY, should call 1-800-437-0833, or order online at www.edpubs.org/webstore/content/search.asp. This report is also available on the department's website at www.ed.gov/about/overview/fed/10factsindex.html. On request, this publication is available in alternate formats, such as Braille, large print, audio tape, or computer diskette. For more information, please contact the department's alternate format center at 202-260-9895 or 202-205-8113. Front cover: Secretary Spellings with students at Burke High School in Boston, Mass. May 2005. 1-2 The U.S. Constitution leaves the responsibility for public K-12 education with the states. The responsibility for K-12 education rests with the states under the Constitution. There is also a compelling national interest in the quality of the nation's public schools. Therefore, the federal government, through the legislative process, provides assistance to the states and schools in an effort to supplement, not supplant, state support. The primary source of federal K-12 SUPPORTBEGANI in 1965 with the enactment of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, ESEA. ESEA authorizes grants for elementary and secondary school programs for children of low-income families, school library resources, textbooks and other instructional materials, supplemental education centers and services, strengthening state education agencies, education research, and professional development for teachers. The No Child Left Behind Act of 2001, NCLB, is a reauthorization of ESEA. The law's express purposes are to raise achievement for all students and to close the achievement gap. This is done through accountability, research-based instruction, flexibility and options for parents, so that no child is left behind. Total taxpayer investment in K-12 education in the United States for the 2004-05 school year is estimated to be $536 billion. Even in this current time of the war against terror, taxpayer investment in education exceeds that for national defense. In addition to the K-12 money mentioned above, taxpayers will spend an estimated $373 billion for higher education in the same school year. As depicted on the chart below, the United States is a world leader in education investment. However, nations that spend far less achieve higher levels of student performance. Annual secondary education expenditures per student source, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Education at a Glance, 2004. Source of funding information in this brochure is the U.S. Department of Education's Budget Service and National Center for Education Statistics, NCES, unless otherwise noted. 110 degrees Fahrenheit $12EDUCATIONFUNDING Swiss. Norway, US, Austria, Italy, Denmark, France, Australia, Germany, Japan, Sweden, Portugal, UK, Spain, Ireland, Korea, Greece, Czech Representative. 3/4 states and localities are the primary sources of K-12 education funding, and always have been. In the 2004-05 school year, 83 cents out of every dollar spent on education is estimated to come from the state and local levels, 45.6% from state funds and 37.1% from local governments. The federal government's share is 8.3%. The remaining 8.9% is from private sources, primarily for private schools. This division of support remains consistent with our nation's historic reliance on local control of schools. The federal share of K-12 spending has risen very quickly, particularly in recent years. In 1990-91, the federal share of total K-12 spending in the United States was just 5.7%. Since that time, it has risen by more than one-third and is now 8.3% of the total. Total U.S. expenditures for elementary and secondary education $287.5 $248.9 $261.3 $274.3 $318.2 $302.4 federal state local other $384.0 $361.4 $339.2 $442.0 $411.5 $490.9 $467.9 $536.0 $514.0 $600 $500 $400 $300 $200 $100 $0 $1 $900 $90 $91 $1991 $92 $1992 $93 $1993 $94 $1994 $95 $1995 $96 $1996 $97 $1997 $98 $1998 $99 $1999 $00 2001 2001 02 2002 03 2003 04 2004 05 years Sources: NCES, Common Core of Data, Surveys and Unpublished Data. *** Because of rounding, detail does not add to 100%. 210 degrees Fahrenheit ACTSABOUTK12EDUCATIONFUNDING dollars in billions. 6.5 Total education funding has increased substantially in recent years at all levels of government, even when accounting for enrollment increases and inflation. By the end of the 2004-05 school year, national K-12 education spending will have increased an estimated 105% since 1991-92, 58% since 1996-97, and 40% since 1998-99. On a per-pupil basis and adjusted for inflation, public school funding increased 24% from 1991-92 through 2001-02, the last year for which such data are available, 19% from 1996-97 through 2001-02, and 10% from 1998-99 through 2001-02. Importantly, the increase in funds has been linked to accountability for results, ensuring taxpayers get their money's worth.
Amen.
Federal funding for two main federal K-12 education programs will have increased by $9.3 billion since 2001, under the President's proposed budget. Under the President's proposed budget for fiscal year FY 2006, 65% of the U.S. Department of Education's elementary and secondary school funds will go to help schools with economically disadvantaged students, ESEA, Title I, and to support children with disabilities, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, Part B, grants to states. If the President's FY 2006 request is enacted, the increases in these programs over the past 5 years will have substantially exceeded any previous increases over a similar period since the programs were created. Total expenditures per pupil for fall enrollment school year. Source: NCES, Digest of Education Statistics, 2003. No data available for 1966-67 and 1968-69. 310 degrees Fahrenheit ACTSABOUTK12EDUCATIONFUNDING constant dollars 1990 91 1980 81 1975 76 1970 71 1965 66 1985 86 2001 02 1995 96.
money.
7-8 Most federal funds are sent directly to states and local school
They're
districts
telling
for
how
their
it
use in
happens.
schools. The
People need to
President's FY
understand.
2006 budget would provide $37.6 billion for K-12 education. Of that amount, 95% would be distributed either directly to local districts or to schools and districts through their states. Individual schools would then use these funds for the purposes defined in the programs. Major programs include ESEA, Title I, $13.3 billion. IDEA, Part B, Grants to States, $11.1 billion.
Mhm.
Improving Teacher Quality, $2.9 billion. 21st Century Community Learning Centers, $991.1 million.
Yes.
English Language
Taxpayer
Learners,
money.
$675.8 million. Impact Aid, Schools impacted by military bases and other facilities, $1.2 billion. There are no unfunded federal education mandates. Every federal education law is conditioned on a state or other grantee's decision to accept federal program funds.
Amen.
Federal education program requirements are not unfunded mandates because the conditions in federal law apply only when a state or other grantee voluntarily chooses to accept federal funds.
Sure does.
Any state that does not want to abide by a federal program's requirements can simply choose not to accept the
See what it
federal
said?
funds associated
It said
with
if they
that
don't want to
program.
take the mandate, they
While
don't have
most
to take
states
the
choose
money.
to accept and use federal program funds, in the past, a few states have foregone funds for various reasons. Title I Grants for Disadvantaged Children Sources, 2006 U.S. Budget, Historical Tables. Year 410 degrees Fahrenheit ACTSABOUTK12ED funding, in billions 1980 1990 2000 1995 2006 1985. 9. The federal commitment to education can be found in the actual dollars earmarked for education. Like all laws passed by Congress, many federal education statutes include limits on how much future Congresses can spend. These are called authorization caps. Actual amounts spent on education are called appropriated levels, and they represent the actual federal commitment to education. Authorization caps are occasionally claimed to be promises or goals for federal education spending. Failure to meet these levels is sometimes claimed to demonstrate that an unfunded mandate exists. The claim is simply untrue. In the history of the United States, actual appropriations have rarely matched authorization levels. If this were the standard, nearly all federal programs supporting agriculture, health, safety, construction, job training and transportation would be below their congressional goals. Federal spending under the Elementary and Secondary Education Act fiscal year funding under NCLB. Detail and figure on next page. Sources: 2006 U.S. Budget, Historical Tables, 510 degrees Fahrenheit ACTSABOUTK12EDUCATIONFUNDING current dollars, in billions 2006 1970 1966 1980 1975 1990 1985 2000 1995. 10. K-12 education is funded at the federal level through a variety of laws and programs. 3. The No Child Left Behind Act, NCLB, gives our schools and our country groundbreaking education reform based on stronger accountability for results, more flexibility for states and communities, and emphasis on proven education methods, and more options for parents. Passed with bipartisan support in Congress and signed by President Bush on January 8, 2002. The law represents the most comprehensive revision of federal education programs since the passage of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. NCLB programs in the President's FY 2006 proposed budget include: Title I, the largest federal K-12 program, would provide over $13 billion to local districts to improve the academic achievement of children in high-poverty schools. Reading First would supply over $1.1 billion to states to promote the use of scientifically based research to provide high-quality reading instruction for grades K-3. Improving teacher quality grants would provide states with $2.9 billion for teacher
Yes.
professional development and training. English language acquisition would provide $675.8 million to states to assist schools in improving the education of limited English proficient children by
Mm-hmm.
teaching them English and helping them meet state academic
Amen.
standards. No Child Left Behind funding. 2002-06 fiscal year sources. 2006 U.S. budget. Historical tables. Note: FY 2001 is the baseline year, the last year of federal funding for elementary and secondary education prior to funding under NCLB. 610 degrees Fahrenheit ACTSA BOUTK 12 EDU CATIONFU and DING current dollars in billions 2002 2004 2003 2006 2005 2001. Other NCLB programs include those to support charter schools, strengthen high school education, improve math and science education, support after-school learning programs, and assist American Indian, Alaska Native and migrant students. 3. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act IDEA assists states and local schools in educating children with disabilities. Grants to states under Part B, the second largest federal K-12 program, would provide over $11 billion to states and local schools to assist their efforts. 3. The Education Sciences Reform Act, ESRA, passed in 2002, created the Institute of Education Sciences, IES, which replaced the Office of Educational Research and Improvement. The law requires more rigorous standards for the conduct and evaluation of education research. NCLB requires that federal funds support educational activities that are backed by scientifically based research. Through sustained programs of research, evaluation and data collection, IES provides evidence of what works to solve the problems and challenges faced by schools and learners. Federal grants to states for special education *year under IDEA, Part B, grants to states. Sources: 2006 U.S. budget, historical tables. 710 degrees Fahrenheit ACTSA BOUTK 12 EDU CATIONFU and DING funding, in billions 1980 1977 1990 1985 2000 1995 2006. For further information on the U.S. Department of Education and its activities, visit www.ed.gov or call 1-800-USALEARN. Photo by Leslie B. Williams. Our mission is to ensure equal access to education and to promote educational excellence throughout the nation.
Did you hear the mission? Is to promote equal access and excellence in education throughout the nation. And you just can't do that supplanting public services. You see, in America, it's just us. It's not anybody else. It's just all Americans who are born here. And the object of public education, the objective should be that we Americans are making a difference. And we are. As you can see, I figured out how to create my own background when someone took away my backgrounds. And I'm getting tired of the little games that network administrators play also. But in America, if your people are not making it, understand we are all taxpayers. We all pay taxes. It's irrelevant how much we pay. The relevancy is that we do pay. And as we pay, we have a right to question the process of access. And the reality is that, people think that because they settle an investigation through the Department of Justice in regards to abuse of children in juvenile facilities here in Clark County in Las Vegas, the public doesn't have a right to share concern about the maintenance of effort and what is going to change that's going to prohibit that. But the real deal is that in the state of Nevada, I believe that there is a limited amount of data that would demonstrate that African American people even have the basic opportunity to progress in a meaningful life of sustainable support, basically. Because I mean, check it out. When people don't graduate from school, what do? Oh, they get on the county. If they can't get on the county, what do? They take what they want. Reality. Somebody got paid 12 years to ensure that they were created a basic opportunity. And Black people have accepted that the letter grade of F is somehow a real opportunity that someone has to deny you from the right to benefit. Failure is not, it's not a reasonable, expectation of public education, that is, because there are all kinds of tools that people can use and utilize to ensure that progress is made. But if you have a job to ensure that progress is made and you're not doing your job, well, pimping ain't easy. But apparently, people have mastered it in America. Therefore, we have to watch out. So wake up, 2021. This is Darlene Anderson signing out of my Moment of Parent Empowerment Hour.